Mention the North and South Poles, and I bet you think ice, and loads of it. But imagine if one of the poles didn't have any. That would be pretty bizarre. Well, that's what some scientists are predicting because of global warming. Here's Sarah to explain.
It's like another planet. Cold, remote, and mysterious. This is the landscape early explorers would have seen as they set out to sail across the top of the world. For centuries, sailors tried to find a way to get quickly from Europe to China without having to sail all the way around the other continents. They wanted to go through the Arctic, through the Northwest Passage. But the Arctic ice was too thick and ships got stuck. Many sailors died. Now these brave scientists are following in their footsteps, making their own way from Canada through the legendary Northwest Passage. They don't look too worried, do they? Well, that's because last year something amazing happened. The Northwest Passage opened up. Unlike the Antarctic, the Arctic isn't actually a continent. It's mainly ocean covered by a huge amount of ice, which is there all year, although it does get thinner in summer. But the Arctic is changing, and that's what these scientists are here to investigate. Over the years, they've watched the ice disappear. These satellite photos show the Arctic in summer over the past 30 years. The red line shows where scientists think the ice should be. Last year, it looked like this. It was the biggest summer melt since satellite records began, and it has a lot of scientists worried. Some say in another few years there'll be no summer ice at all. That's bad news for these locals. Polar bears have a body and a diet specially adapted for the Arctic. They can't live anywhere else, and if the ice disappeared, they'd be in big trouble. It could also be a headache for humans because the ice melt could end up raising sea levels. But while the bears and the scientists might be getting nervous, for others the melting means money. Under the Arctic there are big reserves of oil and gas. That can be mined if the ice retreats. And the Northwest Passage we told you about? It's still a really valuable shipping route. There's already been bickering over who gets what in the area. It's divided between 5 countries: Norway, Russia, Canada, Denmark and the USA. Last year, Russia made a few of them cross by planting a flag in the seabed. Many saw that as a sign they're planning to mine it. There's also arguments about the Northwest Passage. Canada says it's theirs, but others say it belongs to everyone. For now, though, the ice remains, and the polar bears are safe. And some reckon we shouldn't get too worried. The climate is just going through a natural cycle, and things will get back to normal. But many scientists are saying if the ice continues to melt, it could be the greatest change to the planet's environment many of us will ever see.